Hey guys, I just wanted to come on real quick and talk about a disorder that people are saying is being overdiagnosed, which is ADHD in our community. They're saying, they're pretty much saying all black kids got ADHD. Well, I can't speak for all kids, but I could say my kid definitely has ADHD. My child is no longer a child, she's an adult. And I can also tell you that ADHD does not go away. So, it's more than being hyperactive, which is what people are always attributing most of the symptoms to. Oh, well, kids are going to be kids. They're going to move around. Well, that is not ADHD in its entirety. ADHD is a person's inability to focus, okay, to stay on task. Okay, so this is something that, the hyperactivity is something that can come along with it, but it doesn't have to. Some kids have ADHD that don't have the hyperactivity, um, which is minus the age. So, having a child with this disorder, I can tell you that, it was frustrating as a parent because, I had other kids that didn't have it. So, this particular child required you to do things like once you told her to do something, you had to go behind her and make sure it was done because it was not going to be done in its entirety. And not because she didn't want to do it, but because she lacked the ability to focus long enough to do it. I was told by a teacher of hers when she was very young to be looking out for this because it looked like a bomb went off on her desk like every time. Her homework crumpled up at the bottom of her book bag, either untouched, unlooked at, because once you give it to her, it's in the bottom of the desk and it's forgotten about. When we're going to one of her sporting events, it's like, do you have this? Checklist. Yes, 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 yes. And she's based in on what it feels like. Oh, it feels like everything's in here. But you, as the parent of this child, need to know you need to go in that bag because inadvertently they're going to have something in there that's not what they need, like some books instead of some shoes. And this is a real case that I'm giving you. You can't give them large tasks to do because they can only focus on one thing at a time. So you have to tell them to do one specific thing and then have them do it and then have them do something else with a break in between that because they need frequent breaks. And this is, I'm saying this to say I am a big component. I'm a big champion for medication. I believe in medication for these disorders, but I also believe in therapy. I also believe in learning these life skills that you're going to need because your life and your individual way of living is going to be so different than everybody else's. I'm saying all this to say I will be coming on with tips for those of us who are caregivers and need to know how to suggest. Instead of getting frustrated, you need to know how to direct them. So again, this is going to be one tip. Tip number one. Don't give them large tasks to do. Do not say go and clean your room because they will come back with only part of it done, if any. Instead of saying go and clean your room, give them a checklist. And you can print it off and make it because they're going to need to clean their room more than once. So put on the checklist exactly what you want done. The shoes put away, the clothes put away, the bed made, the floor swept, dusting, and then put it as a checklist so that way they have something they can follow and you have something that you can follow because you going in the room just frustrated that the whole room is not clean is just frustrating for them because it's like, what do you want? You know what I mean? So you have to have something that keeps you, on task, and they definitely need something to keep them on task. Checklist is going to be an ADHD person's friend for life. And this is for life. This does not go away. They do not age out of this disorder. It just turns into unorganized adults. Okay? And so I'm going to leave you with that. Number one, checklist. Make a checklist. Give them little bits of a job at a time. Segments of a job, of a bigger job. Don't just give them a big job. And that's going to be if they're a child, if they're an adult, if they work for you, if you encounter someone who has this disorder or you suspect they have it, and you might be able to diagnose it yourself based off of what you see. If you see that you tell somebody to go and do something, they come back quickly and it's not done fully or whatever, and they're off doing something else, that might be a person that has ADHD. But again, little bits. Give them little bits that they can chew and that they can do. Because guess what's going to happen? They're going to feel very accomplished. And see, this is the piece people are missing. You always hear about somebody who has an opinion about ADHD who is the person who doesn't actually have it. But if you talk to somebody who has ADHD, they're just as frustrated as you that they couldn't complete what they thought they were going to do to make you happy. So they're frustrated. So stop basing your judgment about different things like medication or therapy off of what you feel. Oh, they look like a zombie. I don't like that. How do you think it feels to be able to want to do something to please your employer, your teacher, your mother? But you can't because you can't stay focused long enough to do it. So what are you going to do? You're going to act out because you're still a kid. You know what I mean? Or an adult who is trying to please people. So it's not just that, okay? You try not being able to stay on task to do something, to complete it to its fullest and feel accomplished every day, okay? You got to have something in your life to make you feel like I did that. Okay, I did that and I feel accomplished. If you don't have that, how would you feel? Stop basing stuff off of, your brain and your brain without ADHD and how you would feel. Try to think of it if something's going on in your mind all the time. Just stuff going on in your mind all the time that you feel like you got to jump here, jump there, do that, do this, do that. Try that. That's chaos in your brain, okay? The medication slows that down. It does. It slows it down just long enough for them to actually do the stuff that they need to do, okay? So they still need the tips, though. They still need to learn how to live their lives based off of this disorder because the medication doesn't make it go away. It just makes that symptom go away so that they can stay organized for a second. You know what I mean? Just to be able to slow that brain down and stop stuff from jumping up on that screen all the time so that they can say, okay, I'm supposed to be doing this instead of, I mean, think about it. Okay, let's try to think with some compassion. Okay, instead of our chest and what we think and, all this misinformation. Oh, it's being overdiagnosed in our community. Shut up. Okay, just be quiet. If you don't know nothing about it, if you don't want to know nothing about it, just be quiet. Because it's not. It's real. It is a real thing. It is. Okay?